Hey everyone! We are working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy the content and it is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button right now as we proceed. Asterisk, hold on to your baseball caps, folks. Because the Toronto Blue Jays organization just got exposed in the most dramatic way possible. And trust me when I say, this is the kind of insider tea that's going to have every single fan's jaw on the floor. We're talking secret meetings, locker room tension so thick you could cut it with a knife, and plot twists that would make a Hollywood screenwriter jealous. The Blue Jays brass thought they could keep these secrets buried, but thanks to some explosive revelations from insider Ben Nicholson-Smith and ESPN's Jeff Passan, the entire house of cards is tumbling down. And what we're seeing is absolutely wild. Let's start with the headline. That's going to send shockwaves through the baseball world. Are you ready for this? The Toronto Blue Jays are quietly lurking in the shadows, waiting like a predator stalking its prey, ready to pounce on Astros ace Framber Valdez. Yes, you heard that right. While everyone's been focused on other big names and flashy signings, the DJs have been playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. But here's where it gets absolutely juicy. This isn't just some casual interest or agents throwing names around. We're talking actual sit-down meetings, legitimate discussions, and a front office that's clearly got a master plan cooking behind closed doors. Jeff Passan himself just dropped a comment that's got the entire baseball community buzzing. When asked who's getting Framber Valdez, Passan didn't just throw out random teams. He specifically mentioned Toronto, and the reasoning is absolutely fascinating. According to Passan, if Valdez's situation plays out like Kyle Tucker's, meaning no compelling long-term offers materialize, it should theoretically open up more teams to jump into the mix. Baltimore might be the favorite because they desperately need a frontline starter, but here's the kicker. Toronto didn't land any of the big bats they were chasing this offseason. They've got money burning a hole in their pocket, and they could slot Valdez in as the Kevin Gausman replacement after next year. Let that sink in for a moment. The Blue Jays are thinking not just about this season, but about 2027 and beyond. This is next-level strategic planning, people. But wait, it gets even better. Ben Nicholson-Smith just confirmed in a Reddit Ask Me Anything session that the Blue Jays actually met with Framber Valdez at the GM meetings. This wasn't some passing conversation at a hotel bar. This was a legitimate face-to-face meeting before they even signed Dylan Cease. There was mutual interest at the time. And get this. The Jays have done extensive background work on Valdez. As you would expect from a professional organization, they like the talent level, they've studied his numbers, they know what he brings to the table. The only thing standing between Framber Valdez and a Blue Jays uniform at this point is market dynamics. His market needs to stall out, and guess what's happening right now? That's right. The clock is ticking, teams aren't rushing to throw money at him. And with every single day that passes, Toronto's chances get better and better. Now some of you might be thinking, why would the Jays need another starter after signing Dylan Cease? Great question, and the answer reveals just how smart this front office is being. Look at the rotation right now. Kevin Gausman is on an expiring contract. Shane Bieber is only on a one-year deal. Uriel Rodriguez has either a player or team option after this season. The depth isn't there for the long term, folks. The Jays are doing their homework in advance, exactly as they should be. They're building for sustained success, not just a one-year window. If they can lock down Framber Valdez now, imagine a rotation in 2027 featuring Dylan Cease, Framber Valdez, Trey Savage, and maybe Cody Poncer, a recovered Shane Bieber on a longer deal. That's championship caliber pitching, ladies and gentlemen. And let's talk about Valdez himself for a second. This guy is an absolute workhorse. The peripherals might not blow you away. He's not going to command hundreds of millions of dollars, but what he does command is respect. He eats innings like it's his job, because it literally is. He's consistent, he's proven, and he knows how to win in high-pressure situations. Sure, there might be some questions about clubhouse fit, and we'll get to that drama in just a minute, but strictly from a talent perspective, Framber Valdez would make the Blue Jays significantly better both now and in the future. But hold on, because we're about to dive into the absolute nuclear bomb that Ben Nicholson-Smith just dropped about BOMBSHELLS, folks. This is the kind of stuff that makes you realize there was way more going on behind the scenes than anyone suspected. One fan asked Nicholson Smith directly if there was quiet tension in the clubhouse with Bo Bichette, if maybe he wasn't happy with the overall direction of the team. Jeff Blair had been hinting at this on his show for months, and now that Bo is gone, people wanted to know the truth. And boy did they get it. According to Ben Nicholson Smith, and these are almost his exact words, there was absolutely some tension between the front office and Bo Bichette. Not rumors, not speculation, but confirmed tension. We're talking legitimate disagreements and frustration on both sides. Now, Nicholson Smith was diplomatic about it, saying everyone will have their own interpretation and that it's professional sportswear. Stakes are high and people get frustrated. Competitors have disagreements, and these relationships span years, so typically guys move on. But here's the thing, if a team is winning, that solves a lot of problems. The Blue Jays weren't winning, and that tension festered. What exactly were they butting heads about? Well, Whit Merrifield mentioned on a recent podcast that Bo and the coaching staff and front office didn't always see eye to eye. Was it about the attempted move to second base? Was it about injury management? We've seen this kind of thing before, with Matt Chapman calling out John Schneider, with Alek Manoah and Marcus Semien having their own issues. But the critical point here is that Ben Nicholson Smith believes Bo legitimately wanted to stay in Toronto. He was a great player, and if the Jays hadn't prioritized Dylan Cease, Bo would probably still be wearing a Blue Jays uniform. Let that sink in. The front office made a calculated decision to choose pitching over keeping their homegrown shortstop, and that decision came with baggage. Now, here's where you need to ask yourself a question. If you could go back in time and make the choice, would you rather have Bo Bichette or Dylan Cease and Kazuma Oka? Because that's essentially what the trade-off was. The DJs wanted to solidify their aging rotation for years to come, and Dylan Cease was the key to that plan. They clearly prioritized his ability to anchor the rotation over Bo Bichette's bat, knowing they could probably land Okamoto, which they did. Bo is now playing third base for the Mets, making over $45 million a year on a short deal, while the Jays have fortified their pitching staff. Was it the right call? That's for you to decide. But the information coming out now paints a much clearer picture of what actually went down, and if you thought the Bo Bichette drama was the end of the story, buckle up, because we've got one more explosive revelation. Jose Berrios, the starting pitcher who mysteriously missed the World Series. At the time, media members were told it was for family reasons, and everyone accepted that explanation because, well, family comes first. But now the truth has come out, and it's way more complicated than anyone realized. According to Ben Nicholson Smith, it wasn't actually family reasons. It was a decision made by Berrios himself, and there is now frustration within the organization about how that whole situation went down. Nicholson Smith says it's going to be on Jose Berrios to rekindle that. His relationship with the front office and potentially his teammates. Think about the implications here. This is a starting pitcher who could easily factor into the rotation plans for the foreseeable future. But there's now a fractured relationship that needs serious repair work. Did Berrios feel disrespected? Was there a disagreement about usage or health? We don't know all the details yet, but what we do know is that there's another layer of tension bubbling beneath the surface of this Blue Jays organization. And it's becoming clear that last season was more dysfunctional than anyone realized from the outside looking in. So where does this leave us? The Blue Jays have had a solid free agency period so far, bringing in Dylan Cease and Kazuma Okamoto, shoring up both pitching and offense. But they're not done yet. The Framber Valdez pursuit is real, it's active, and with each passing day, it becomes more likely that Toronto swoops in and lands one of the best innings eaters in baseball. The market is unclear, the clock is ticking, and the Jays are positioned perfectly to strike when the moment is right. But make no mistake, this isn't just about adding talent. This is about an organization trying to navigate complex interpersonal dynamics, rebuild a fractured clubhouse culture, and position themselves for sustainable success while managing egos, expectations, and million-dollar decisions. The tension with Bo Bichette is out in the open now. The Jose Berrios situation is going to be fascinating to watch unfold, and the Framber Valdez sweepstakes could be the move that either validates the front office's entire strategy or becomes another what-if story in Blue Jays history. The truth is finally coming out, folks, and it's messier, more dramatic, and more compelling than any script a writer could dream up. The Blue Jays are at a crossroads, and the decisions they make this offseason are going to define this franchise for years to come. So what do you think? Do you want Framber Valdez in a Blue Jays uniform? Was trading away Bichette the right move? Or did the front office fumble one of their most talented homegrown players? And what about Jose Berrios? Can that relationship be salvaged, or is there too much bad blood at this point? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I want to hear from every single one of you. And if you're loving this insider content and want to stay on top of every twist and turn in this wild Blue Jays saga, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. This story is far from over, and you're going to want to be here for every single bombshell that drops. We'll see you in the next one, where we'll continue tracking this absolute roller coaster of an offseason. Let's go!